1 part vision and 1 part action equals courage. And courage is not something that you either have or you don't. I firmly believe that it's a skill, and just like any other skill, you can develop it. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Amleash and creative living is all about problem solving with passion and purpose. And whether you believe it or not, vision is actually the easy part. I think we're all born with vision, because whether like how well your gelatinous orbs in your skull can see or not, you are able to know you better and see you and the inner workings of your mind more frequently than anyone possible. So therefore, you're able to see inward anytime, and acknowledging the thoughts that you have and the desires that rush inside of you is how you really create that vision. And it is something so unique and special to each one of us. However, taking action on all of these thoughts and desires is usually what gets us stuck in the middle of our dreams, staying imagination, or becoming reality. So the big question, I think, in having the courage to chase your dreams, or just developing courage more in your life, no matter what it's used for, is how do we truly develop our vision and our ability to take action on it consistently enough that we have the courage to make our dreams come true. Let's dive in. So a little story time on this exact cultivation of courage in my own life. So between 2021 and 2024, I manifested mountains, literally, through the discipline in developing my own courage. And I have a photo that's on Instagram, January 2021, of a terracotta canyon while I lie on my taupin pink bed with my nose in a book. And at the time, I was living in a basement apartment in Toronto doing what I do best on any given night. I was reading and dreaming and envisioning a grand future for myself, of course, without any actual proof that these dreams would become a reality. And I hung the tapestry that I had, thinking to myself, one day I will have a view of the sun setting over the mountains just like this tapestry, just like this visual here. It was so far-fetched at the time. I was living a completely different life. I was about to get a promotion in my corporate job in Toronto. I had never been to Vancouver before, nor know anyone here, / been to any very mountainous type of region, like Colorado, etc. But I was drawn to this particular tapestry of all the ones that were available on Amazon that I could have chosen. And there are so many on Amazon, obviously. I knew that, the mountains were calling me when so many other people have different visions and views for themselves in terms of wanting an ocean view or, any sort of specific vision for what their future would look like. I knew that I wanted the sun setting over the mountains. And fast forward to June 6th of 2024, just a couple of weeks ago, I am now living in East Vancouver with my soulmate, Tucker, right here sitting on the bed, all sleepy from a hike. And I watch the sun set over mountains every night from my bedroom window. This window that I am looking out right now. And I want to say that I can't believe it all came true, but honestly, I can believe that I've made my dreams a reality, because this is all happening because of the discipline that I've had to develop taking courageous action, and I've learned some things along the way about how to make this all happen, and I want to share them with you. The first thing that I realized, number one, is I didn't have to know exactly how it was all going to pan out in order to just trust and believe in my vision. Once I saw it in my mind's eye, and I actively felt the joy of having it in my body, like that, wow, whatever the reaction is of seeing the mountains knowing that I live in a space where I not just get to see this beauty, but where I made that vision a reality and then spoke about it giddily to all of my loved ones. I knew that within that space, living in that space, the wheels were already in motion. It definitely didn't happen overnight. It took 3 years, but my seed had been planted and I was ready, and it was ready to be watered by the universe as long as I kept the faith and I took action towards it. The way that I know this manifestation method, if you want to call it that, is fruitful and accurate and works is not only because I've done it, but because if you think about, you have a physical body, which is the external world. You also have an emotional body, which is your internal world. You have to prime your emotional body in order to have the desired emotions that you want to have in the external circumstance. It doesn't go external circumstance, internal feeling. It goes internal feeling and then external circumstance. The way that I visualize this, or an analogy that I like to think about in regards to this, is, say for example, you had this amazing dinner party coming up, something super special, whether it's a family event, a Friendsgiving, or New Year's Eve party, like whatever it is. You have this really, really, really exciting, just, you're so looking forward to feeling this great experience at this dinner party. And you want to cook something that you've never cooked before, but is something that is super, super meaningful to you. You're probably going to want to cook that meal, like practice cooking that meal at least once before the night of the dinner party. This is the exact same thing with manifestation and making our internal feelings into external realities and circumstances. You have to practice. Practice makes perfect. You can't just expect to show up to that dinner party or to the night of that dinner party and all the things go off with a hitch. You know what I mean? In terms of making this gourmet meal. You're going to want to have you're going to want to have practiced it beforehand so that the time that comes when you're making it, it's a smooth experience. It's fun to make this really elaborate gourmet dish because you've done it before, so you know how to do it, and it's more easeful, right? And you know exactly what you need. You've given yourself the opportunity to make mistakes that you can then, correct when the time is that you're actually going to be making this very important meal for people that are going to experience it, aka the external reality. So all this to say, I had to prime my emotional body for what it would feel like to look out at the mountains and have this reality in order for my external reality to reflect that. Because if I'm not going to know how to feel. I'm not just going to know to feel happy and elated and all of these different sorts of things once I get it, unless I've already experienced those things. I hope you're following. The next thing that I did in order to make this dream a reality is to say yes to everything that brought me closer to this vision, even when it wasn't perfect and it didn't make sense. Like when I bought a one-way ticket flight to Vancouver the following summer because I had a good feeling about someone I knew there, turned out to be my soul sister Pamela, joining a moms group, because dog moms count, we are moms as well, even though I felt so uncomfortable being, the youngest single person there, which actually led me to making a friend, which is now my current roommate, that allows me to live in this apartment because rent ain't cheap in Vancouver, so I had to go the roommate route. And she's someone that is so aligned with my values and inspires me to be the person that I want to be, versus I could have not joined any of those groups, not put myself out there and just isolated or made friends that were convenient because of work, right? Versus people that truly aligned with my values. All of this to say, dreams really don't work unless you do. So in order to have the external reality that you so desperately crave, you have to cook it up in the kitchen internally first. You have to create the vision. You have to prime your emotional body for the experience that you know you are destined for in the external reality. Then you have to keep the faith, take any action, whether it's a plane ticket, joining a women's group, getting a puppy, like whatever the action is that is aligned with that vision, that grand vision that you have in the future, you will make it happen. You have to find a way to make it happen. And that is exactly how you develop the courage to live your dreams. 1 part vision, 1 part action equals courage. And the best part about it is that courage is contagious. So that means once you showcase more courage in your life, not only are you going to have proof that when you are courageous, good things happen, so you'll start to take that action, those types of actions more, and action in general more, but it's also contagious because when other people see you being courageous, they are inspired to be courageous too. So it's a win-win-win situation. And with that, I really, really encourage you to go chase your dreams, develop your inner vision, and take action on it in any way that you can. Love you.